Let's start the recording for another Vintage Cube Live. So, we need to draft a deck. I really like, actually, out of this pack, taking Snapcaster. I could take Battle Ball, could take Revoker, could take Misty Rainforest just to try and stay open. But Snapcaster lets us do several different things because it's a very strong card, so we're going to take Snapcaster. There's Ragavan. We could do, like, Is It Aggro? We could also take Volcanic Island. Or Raugrin Triome, but Ragavan's a very strong card, so we probably should take the Ragavan. Force Progenitus. I'd have to find a natural order before that. If it beats you in Modern, force it in Vintage Cube. It's not actually that bad in Vintage Cube as like a draft archetype. It's like we could take Firebolt here, or we could take Mystic Confluence as top end. Mystic Confluence is probably more likely to wheel than Firebolt is. Firebolt fits the theme of this deck better, but Mystic Confluence is just so strong. I think I'm going to take the Firebolt and try and wheel the Confluence, although I don't think the Confluence will wheel. If we're doing an aggressive deck, Fiery Islet is the fixing we want, as opposed to something like Sulfuric Vortex, which might wheel. So I'll take Fiery Islet. Nice. Nice. That sounds like an excellent deck. I will take a Shark Typhoon. This gives us another flash creature plus potentially like late game potential. We could take Soulfire Grandmaster if we find like a Time Walk or a Time Warp and then splash white for it, because Ragavan would make that easier, but I think Shark Typhoon's pretty clearly the pick for us here. There's a Goblin Guide, there's an Underworld Breach, and a Turnabout. I don't think we're going to be playing Storm this time. I'm going to take the Goblin Guide and just try and be aggressive. Hey man, Vortex is a great card. It's super busted. I envy the guy to our left that has a sick artifact deck. Yeah. Yup. That's an artifact. Okay, we could do Through the Breach. We could definitely do like a Through the Breach control deck. Otherwise there's like a Golos or a Colonnade. I'll take Through the Breach. Spire Bluff Canal definitely makes our mana better. Otherwise there's a Beaumont Courier. Eureka fits the Through the Breach plan. I'm going to take the Spire Bluff Canal. Okay, I do like Revoker. We can Through the Breach Progenitus, but it doesn't kill people. I'm going to take Phyrexian Revoker, because it's just a good card. There's a Consecrated Sphinx. Eureka barely fits the Eureka plan? Yeah, no kidding. I could take Yorion. Apparently nobody's in Artifacts. Nobody likes Retrofitter Foundry. I do, because I've played it with like Skull Clamp and stuff, and it's silly. I think I'm going to take the Sphinx. Sphinx is just a good card. We can take the Reality Chip, though I'm not sure this is the game plan for it. Otherwise, I can take Satoru, and Satoru gives us an opportunity to, like, ninjutsu in big creatures. Yeah, Foundry is very good. I'll take Sedgemoor Witch on the off chance I'm actually playing Grixis. Yeah, and Consecrated Sphinx is also ridiculous. Both of those cards are nuts, and just people aren't taking them. Zagoth Triome is a Island Swamp. We could take Emery. I'm not 100% sure this is an Emery deck, but we didn't get Mystic Confluence, so blue is not necessarily open. I think I actually want a Bone Shredder. Breach is very good, but mostly in Storm. Well, the thing is, anything that can make a lot of mana wants to play it. The Progenitus meme was dead before it had a chance to live? Absolutely. Okay, we definitely want an Expressive Iteration. It's like the best card for our deck in particular. Avalanche Riders, Birgi, like that's fine. Time Spiral is good as long as we were to get like 3-mana Narset, but I'll take Expressive Iteration. We're looking for cheap burns, cheap counters. Repeal is good. Wheel of Fortune's okay. Jite is ridiculous, and this would be a good Jite deck. But there's also Mana Leak. I think I'm going to take the Mana Leak. I really would like to have some counter spells in this deck. Jite is absurd, but I'm taking Mana Leak over Jite. Okay, there's Emrakul. We can Through the Breach, officially. There's also Library of Alexandria, which, if we're playing a slower deck, is fantastic. But we'll take the Emrakul just to make sure that we have the Through the Breach combo. Unholy Heat is removal. Otherwise, there's like Steamkin or Phantasmal Image. Kano hates me, confirmed. I do not. We'll take Unholy Heat. It doesn't go face, but it does kill stuff. Okay, there's Kaito, there's Ulamog, and there's Skull Clamp. Kaito... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11 cards in this pack, so something should come around. Oh, Gilded Drake is really good. It's actually kind of hilariously good. I have Ragavan, Snapcaster, and Revoker, which already died a Skull Clamp, as well as a Sedgemoor Witch. I actually think I'm going to try and wheel Kaito, because this goes in fewer decks. And I'm going to take Skull Clamp. There's Bolt. Otherwise, Duretti and Genius Iconoclast is insane. Actually, he's really insane because we have Skull Clamp. And so, like, that's pretty good. Rabble Man would be good, too. I think I've got to take the burn. The guy who got Bitter Blossom decided to pass Skull Clamp. Yeah, no kidding. I'm going to try and be, like, low to the ground with, like, maybe Through the Breach surprise finish. This Duretti is also very good, but I don't think we have the support for it for our particular deck. It's, like, better when you're doing artifact shenanigans. Verdant Catacombs can fetch Zagoth Triome. Bloodghast is good with Skull Clamp. It's good with, like, braids and stuff. I'm going to take the Verdant Catacombs. That does actually let me splash Renin 6, which is just strong. Take Tithe, you coward. I'm going to take Renin 6 here. Tithe is, like, an incredibly winning card, but you have to be in a deck that can take advantage of it. So, like, you can play Mana Tithe in Blue-White Control in Vintage Cube and actually have it be good, or you can play it in the Mono-White deck. Jite came around. Nobody wants to play Jite. Are you kidding me? I'm taking Jite. Absolutely am I taking Jite. Vampiric Tutor and, Vamp Tutor and Night's Whisper are all very good in a deck like this. There's Braids! Oh, I love Braids! Otherwise, there's Gilded Drake. Gilded Drake is much better for our deck, but we have, like, Renin 6. We can splash black. We've got Sedgemoor Witch. We've got Token Generation. We can sack Ragavan Treasures to Braids. I'm taking Braids. It's not the right pick, but it's the pick I'm making. What's happening at this table? Everyone's forcing Storm. Like, that must be it, right? There's Takanuma, or there's Ravenous Chupacabra. Ravenous Chupacabra is actually pretty decent removal. I think I'm going to take the Chupacabra. Takanuma is good, but I'll take him as Merrick Fiend. Duretti came around? Has anyone read this card? Well, I think I found the open lane. I don't know why this lane is open. Okay. So there's Young Pyro, which is good with Jite, Skull Clamp, Braids. There's K-Command, but Duretti came around. Alternatively, there's Click, which is really good. There's a Jund-colored land, which makes, like, Renin 6 even more splashable. If I get a Tinker, I will consider getting a Citadel, but I don't actually think I can cast Citadel. Citadel Emrakul is not really a deck. Yeah, we'll take Young Pyro. Chain Lightning, Dragon's Rage Channeler, Mana Drain? At this point, am I even playing blue? Is Lily the last hope? Yeah, I mean, the land was probably the best, but I have Snapcaster, Mana Leak, Satoru, Sphinx, and Shark Typhoon. Like, we can't just, like, Mana Drain into something big. I think Chain Lightning is better for us. Yeah, I think that's probably true, too. But, like, we have Fiery Islet, Spirebluff, and Zagoth. So, like, we can splash for these blue cards. I think double blue early, though, is going to be difficult. So I'm going to take the Chain Lightning. There's a Blood Crypt. There's a Waterlogged Grove. Bone Shards. There's Makeshift Mannequin. This can reanimate Emrakul. It's not a particularly great way to do it, but you can. There's an Izzet Signet, which would be fixing for us. Infernal Grasp is good, but I guarantee you that card's going to come around. I think I need to take Blood Crypt, just because we do have Verdant Catacombs, and this makes my mana a lot better. This is not a Courser deck. I think it's between Blood Crypt, Bone Shards, and Bloodthirsty Adversary, and I'm going to take the Blood Crypt. Okay, we've got Indatha Triome, Grim Lavamancer, Overgrown Tomb, which makes Renin 6 more splashable yet again. There's an Abrade or Chartacourse, which are both very good, especially in decks like this, along with Grim Lava Man. Every deck is a Courser deck? Hard disagree. I'll take Overgrown Tomb. Then we've got Direfleet Daredevil, Collective Brutality, Cryptbreaker, Dryad, or Breeding Pool. Breeding Pool does make it easier to play all of these. Although it is sort of like our double splash duel. Mystical Tutor doesn't really get anything too crazy. I'm probably just supposed to take Brutality here. Yeah, let's take Collective Brutality. It's a good card. Someone doesn't want Upheaval, which is crazy. Upheaval, Mind's Desire, Murktide in the same pack. Yes, the Thieving Skydiver is really, really good. See, we're still waiting 13 minutes for the other tournament to start. I guess I take Abbott, because we're, like, closer to an aggressive deck, but, like, otherwise it's, like, Figure of Destiny, and I don't think I'm that aggressive. Murktide, because we can support it. I'm taking Abbott, or Murktide, apparently. That's fine. Okay, Nahiri. Do I have anything that allows me to splash white? I do not. Okay, that means I'm not playing Nahiri. Unfortunately, I don't think I can play Field of the Dead. I can play Maelstrom Pulse. Ophiomancer. Ophiomancer Braids or Ophiomancer Skull Clamp. 100%. Easy peasy. Okay, we've got Endurance, Grave Titan, Obnixilis, Vraska, Dam, Eidolon, or Silent Clearing. I think the answer here is Vraska, because this is another card draw engine with any of the permanents we're generating, which is really strong. It also Abrupt Decays, which is very good, and its ult does win the game. Obnix is good. Obnix does make permanents, and you can get duplicates of them and just go crazy, but I think Vraska is the pick. Alright, there's the Jundland or K-Command. How many instants and sorceries do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-ish. And I do want instants and sorceries for Sedgemoor Witch and Young Pyro. I think I'm actually going to pass on the Jund Triland and go for K-Command, because K-Command is so good. Anything that can destroy artifacts in this cube is insane. There's a Huntmaster or Infernal Grasp. I think I'm going to take the Infernal Grasp over Huntmaster. Huntmaster's another permanent generator, but I need hard removal, I think. Bone Shards, Bloodthirsty Adversary. I don't think we're aggressive enough to want this card. I think I'm going to take the Bone Shards, just as another hard removal spell. This is a Swamp Forest, so we're going to take it and play it. Grim Lava Man's really good, but we're not mono-red. Thieving Skydiver is also very good, and so is Hana and Elena. We're considering cutting blue, but Skydiver is really good. I think I will take the Skydiver. We'll see if we play it or not. Not playing Karmic Guide. Probably not playing it. So mono-red was open. So at this point, the table has Reanimator, green-white players, whatever Kano is doing, and it means there's 4 humans at this table who brain patterns are so keenly attuned to the meta that they're playing decks we haven't even designed yet, and are so far ahead of our understanding that we're clearly doomed from the outset. There's some Storm player who realized they could wheel Mind's Desire as well as every other Storm card. Yeah, someone probably has, like, 7 Mox, Lotus, LED, Breach, Past in Flames, Yogg, Will, and every draw 7 in Stormwind condition. They're, like, not even playing lands anymore. And, like, I could absolutely see that being a thing. Okay. I think we can actually just cut blue. Let's see what that looks like if I cut blue. We could still play, like, Expressive Iteration. And we can still play Fiery Islet, because that's really good with Ren and 6. We're not playing Satoru. If we're not playing Satoru, we don't really have a way to cheat any of those cards out. We're just kind of playing, like, a Rakdos or Jund grindy deck. I don't like Unholy Heat the most out of my instants and sorceries, because it doesn't go face, and it's not particularly easy for us to build Delirium. Maybe it is. 7 Mox is free real estate. Yeah, no, I mean, it could be. You can't X as 0. Yeah, you can't X as 0, but you can X as 1 and still steal a Mox, a Soul Ring, a Mana Crypt, or any of those other things, right? Then you take your opponent off of it, and you have it. And I think I'm cutting Figure of Destiny. Everything else in this deck is, like, crazy good. We're playing, like, Jund, Grind, Braids Finish. We can't Turbo Braids, though. Like, this deck, if it had a Mox Ruby or a Mox Jet or a Soul Ring, would be really good. Yeah, I would pay 3 for a 2-1 flyer and your Mox. That's like paying 3 mana for a 2-1 flyer and then also casting a Mwanvuli Acid Moss. Like, it's pretty good. Okay. So we're playing Fiery Islet, Blood Crypt, Indatha Triome, Overgrown Tomb, Verdant Catacombs, and Zagoth Triome. Oh, we are green, and we could splash off of Zagoth Triome, Fiery Islet, Ragavan Treasures. We could actually splash Tameo. But I think this is a deck. I really do think this is a deck. 7 minutes. I don't have enough time to play around with this deck, so I'm going to cut the footage here. But this is the deck we drafted live. You may find this footage finished way later. I'm going to probably go ahead and play this off stream, just because I don't have a ton of time, but if we scrub out quickly on the large tournament that's starting in just a few minutes, then we can come back and we can play this, because this will be really interesting to watch. So for now, I'm going to cut the recording for the Vintage Cube deck, and we're going to wait on the other queue to fire. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Vintage Cube draft that we started live on stream. I will be finishing it on my own time. We did do quite well in the play-in, the 20th anniversary play-in. We went 4-1, so that was enough to get the half entry token. I'll be trying to get the constructed half after this recording sometime, but we got to play this out. There was something I wanted to mention about this deck before I started. Yeah, we started off trying to do like through the breach stuff, like red, blue through the breach, and we kind of got cut out of blue, and we ended up in like Rakdos, Jund, grind stuff, which this should be fun. So we'll see how it goes. If I'm a little bit shaky or acting weird, I just weightlifted with my father this morning, trying to get him some exercise, trying to get myself some exercise so we can both start losing weight. Trying to eat better, and I pushed it way too hard this morning, and I weightlifted until I got a little sick. So I'll see you guys in round one. And round one, here we go. I think the one thing this deck is missing is like Thoughtseize Inquisition. I think this deck would be very good with Thoughtseize and Inquisition. Also, my apologies if you can hear my dryer going off. I didn't think about that before I started recording. I would like to play first. We have no black mana, which is kind of important. I think we need a mulligan. Okay, this is serviceable. I'm going to put back Light Up the Stage. We have Bolt, Chain Lightning, so we have a lot of early removal / damage. And while I could Bolt my opponent to draw a couple extra cards, I don't have double red. So we're just going to start with a Zagoth Triome and pass. Opponent starts with a Plains into an Usher of the Fallen. We draw Blood Crypt. Blood Crypt's good. Go ahead and Chain Lightning that. Try to stop the early game aggression here. If this is just mono-white aggro or red-white aggro, we will be in our best as long as we drag this game out as long as possible, because we will just overwhelm them with card advantage, removal, value. White-green, that's not a combination I see often. Opponent plays a Gruul Signet. Alright. So we're going to play a Blood Crypt tapped and Phyrexian Revoker Gruul Signet. It's interesting. It's not that often I see Usher of the Fallen in a deck that isn't just like mono-white stuff. Okay, opponent's got a Strip Mine. They can Strip Mine Zagoth Triome, and that does take me off green, so I won't be able to play Vraska. But they may just play a 3-drop here, and that would be pretty excellent for us. Okay, they do Strip Mine the Triome, that's fine. Okay, opponent plays a Lion Sash, excuse me. We draw a Mountain. Bolt Lion Sash. Play a Mountain. Go to combat, and attack for 2. Hit our opponent down to 18. Opponent plays an Elvish Reclaimer. We draw Verdant Catacombs. So let's go fetch. I think we do, since we have double black cards, I think we are going to get an Overgrown Tomb here. Untapped. Play Vraska. Kill Elvish Reclaimer. Attack our opponent for 2. Elvish Reclaimer, like, they can fix their mana, they can get more mana denial and stuff like that. And now we can start, like, sacking extra lands we draw to Vraska. I'm probably going to uptick and sack a Mountain next turn. Okay, the Infernal Grasp, Phyrexian Revoker, which unlocks their Gruul Signet. We draw a Goblin Guide, uptick, sack a Mountain, we draw a Swamp, play Fiery Islet, play Goblin Guide, go get 'em Goblin Guide. It's not really the card I want to be throwing at my opponent right now, because I don't want them to be drawing a bunch of cards, but, you know, what can you do? Okay, opponent plays a Hex Drinker. They level it up, and level it up. I'm going to cycle this, so if we draw like an Infernal Grasp, I can actually kill this right now. Okay, we did not. So Hexdrinker is now a 4/4. We draw Collective Brutality. Go to combat. Attack for 2. Opponent's drawing a Skull Clamp. If they block, we can Collective Brutality to kill it. Okay, they do not block. Now I can either uptick Vraska or downtick to kill Hexdrinker. We know they have Coercive Portal in hand. They're drawing Skull Clamp. I think I want to draw here. Ravenous Chupacabra. Perfect. Play Ravenous Chupacabra. That was an amazing top deck. Kill Hexdrinker. Pass the turn. Problem solved. Opponent, gonna play Tide Hollow Sculler and take away my Collective Brutality. And then they're gonna play a Skull Clamp and equip the Skull Clamp. We untap. We draw Infernal Grasp. So kill Skull Clamp. Play a Mountain. Kill Sculler. Get back. Collective Brutality. This deck is really grindy. Like, we've just had answers to everything our opponent's done, and Vraska is an insane value engine for us. I really like this deck. Especially because, like, my last attempt to do something like this did not go well. Probably should bring in Unholy Heat, but I don't know what it's better than right now. The rest of our burn actually will go to face, so I think our burn currently is better. It might be better than, like, a Bone Shards, possibly, but we'll see. Bone Shards can at least kill, like, a halfway leveled up Hexdrinker. Alright, we have everything but red mana. Sedgemoor Witch Kolagon's command is very, very awesome. I think I'm actually going to keep this, even though this hand is quite slow. Like, we top deck a Mountain and then, like, Braids. And this hand is awesome. Opponent does mulligan to 6. They lead on Prismatic Vista and pass. We draw a Swamp. So we will lead on Zagoth Triome, pass the turn. Opponent cracks Prismatic Vista, gets Forest. So they don't want to draw lands right now. Opponent untaps, they play a Strip Mine. Okay, they use their turn Strip Mining, that's fine. Play Indatha Triome, pass the turn. I mean, if they have like a Wasteland, that would also be not great, but any land will get us to where we need to go, really. Opponent plays a Boros Signet. Okay, Blood Crypt is good. I'm going to shock Blood Crypt to play Goblin Guide here, because I have nothing else to do this turn. Might as well start getting in for damage. Man, could you imagine this deck with Strip Mine? And we could have... Oh, Strip Mine Ramanop Excavator is not good for my health, I'll say. I need to draw a Mountain so I can kill Ramanop. Because they're definitely going to go for the Ramanop replay Strip Mine thing here. Yeah. Opponent correctly identifies the red mana source as the threat. Okay, show me a Mountain. There it is. Chain Lightning Excavator. Go to combat, hit them for 2. Opponent reveals Skull Clamp. Okay. They untap. They play a Swamp. They play Skull Clamp. And they pass. We untap. Draw Young Pyro. Play a Swamp. Go to combat. Attack for 2. They draw an Indatha Triome. Okay. I meant to play Sedgemoor Witch, but I clicked one too many times, so I'm just going to leave up K command. Technically, that's a punt, but it's possibly good, because like, I can maybe kill something and then make them discard, or kill something, blow up a mana rock. We'll see. Opponent is paying 5 mana for something. Pest Infestation. Destroying no artifacts. Making a whole bunch of tokens. Okay. This is actually fine. I was kind of hoping they would play a land and then try to equip Skull Clamp. Because then destroying Skull Clamp and making them discard is like huge value. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So they're probably going to discard Indatha Triome. I may have been telegraphing this too hard inadvertently. I meant to do something else entirely, but if they'd had an untapped land... I think they would have played it and tried to Skull Clamp one of the tokens. They discard Bloodstained Mire and keep Indatha Triome. That's interesting. We draw Bone Shards. So, play a Swamp. Play Sedgemoor Witch. Pass the turn. No sense in attacking right now. Sedgemoor Witch, just the slightly more robust of our 2 token generating creatures. It's also more likely that we can play Young Pyro and cast something like Bone Shards alongside it. Opponent cycles in Datha Triome and plays a Bayou. Okay, they pass the turn. We untap and draw a mountain. So, play Young Pyro. I think I am going to Bone Shards, discarding a mountain here. Because this gives us a lot of extra value. This is a pretty big waste of a Bone Shards, but I would like to get my own tokens and start attacking. Okay. And we still have Chupacabra if they play like a big creature or something. Pass the turn. Man, if we could top deck Skull Clamp or Braids, we would be set. I'd be a little better off if I had actually played Sedgemoor Witch when I had intended to play Sedgemoor Witch, but I clicked one too many times because I'm a little loopy this morning. I'm starting to finally feel better, though, which is good. Okay, opponent Infernal Grasps, Young Pyromancer. Interesting choice. I don't know why you don't pay the life and deal with the Sedgemoor Witch, but... Okay, we draw Collective Brutality, so... I think we just Brutality, kill a pest. Make a pest. And then attack with everything except Sedgemoor Witch. Okay, opponent reveals Elspeth, Knight Errant. I knew I'd spend that Bone Shards too quickly. Opponent was thinking about trading pests. Okay, they trade the pests for a Goblin Guide. That's fine. So next turn, if they play Elspeth and make a token, we can kill the token with Chupacabra and then probably overrun Elspeth. The opponent has Path for Sedgemoor Witch. I don't have any double red. I already have green mana. I have double black. I think I'm going to get a forest here. Okay. Opponent untaps. Here comes Elspeth. Elspeth going to make a token. We untap. Draw Overgrown Tomb. Kill the token. And we just need a value engine here, like Duretti, Vraska, Skull Clamp, even Braids. Braids is not really a value engine. Braids is a stacks engine, but a way to utilize all our tokens, for sure. Opponent untaps. I don't think I have anything that requires me to discard, so I don't know that holding this Overgrown Tomb in hand is necessarily worth it. But you never know. Could fake that we've got a combat trick or something. Opponent plays Smokestack. And Exploration. Okay, well, like, we don't mind Smokestack. That's kind of what we were set up to do, really. Okay, we find a Phyrexian Revoker, so go to combat. Attack with everybody at Elspeth. Because we need to stop them producing tokens. They can't block and save Elspeth. But they do trade off for a token. Okay, I'm going to name Boros Signet. I don't know if they have any other Planeswalkers. I don't remember anything from Game 1. So, pass the turn. Okay, opponents should stack the triggers properly such that they don't have to sack anything this turn. Okay, we untap, we have to sack, so I'm going to sack a forest. We draw Jite. Jite is amazing. Play Jite. Stick it on Chupacabra. Go to combat. Swing for the fences. Okay, counters on Jite. I cannot believe Jite wheeled in the draft. The card is so unreasonable. People keep telling me, oh, this card would be fine in Modern. No, it wouldn't. No, it would not. Opponent sacks Exploration. That's fine. Opponent plays an Usher of the Fallen. And they're passing the turn. But now I understand why they're playing Usher, because Usher, like, makes tokens and opponents, like, trying to Smokestack and Strip Mine Lock and all that stuff. But it didn't work on us, because we were set up to grind harder. But I'll see you guys in round 2. Alright, welcome to round 2. We've got Wrenn and 6, we've got Skull Clamp, and we've got Chupacabra. I think this is worth keeping. Kind of hoping to draw, like... Well, I was gonna say, Verdant Catacombs or Fiery Islet, but I'll play a Mountain. No sense in playing out Skull Clamp yet. Opponent can play like a 2-mana Mana Dork, and we might just want to Bolt. Okay. Draw Firebolt. So, play Renin 6, start ticking up Renin 6, no value though. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent plays a Forest. And Green Sun's X2 to find a Sylvan Caryatid. Well, we can't kill Sylvan Caryatid. Draw an Ophiomancer. So, play a Swamp. Uptick Renin 6 to 5. Ophiomancer Skull Clamp is a pretty sweet combo. Get a Death Touch Snake. Okay, opponent natural orders. Probably for a Woodfall Primus. Terastodon. Okay. So they're gonna kill Renin 6, maybe like a land. Oh, okay, they're just gonna kill all of my stuff. That's fine, I guess. We untap. We draw a mountain. So, go to combat. Attack with the snake. Play swamp. Play skull clamp. Clamp the snake token. Draw cards. Pass the turn. Make a snake. I mean, blowing up my lands was correct because I do have a Ravenous Chupacabra, but... yeah, I'm glad that was Terastodon and not Woodfall Primus, I'll be honest with you. Because Woodfall Primus would be a lot harder for us to answer. Okay, opponent plays a Birds. And a Nissa who shakes the world. They then animate a Forest. We untap. We draw Kolagon's Command. Opponent does only have one card in hand, and so I could force them to discard it. I think we're going to Bolt the Forest, then swing the tokens at Nissa, and see what happens. Because even if they block Elephant, Nissa takes 4 and we can Firebolt it to kill her. And then we can just Clamp for more value. I could Firebolt the Birds, but... Firebolt Nissa. Clamp Snake. Man. I will say, casting an Ancestral Recall every turn is pretty good. Like, you know, just drawing 3 cards a turn, effectively. Okay, opponent plays a Circle of Dreams Druid. We untap and draw a mountain. Play Indatha Triome. Chain Lightning Circle of Dreams Druid. Go to combat. Attack for 1. Man, Skull Clamp Ophiomancer is just so sweet. And we draw Ragavan. Cast Ragavan. Pass the turn. Next turn we're going to play Braids. Or Ravenous Chupacabra. Kind of depends on what our opponent plays. Acidic Slime. They're going to take out Skull Clamp. Reasonable. We've already drawn enough cards, though. Draw Infernal Grasp. Ooh. I can Sedgemoor Witch and Infernal Grasp Terastodon. Then get more value out of K-Command, like the following turn. Yeah, so play Sedgemoor Witch. And we are just going to start swinging out. They have to block something with Acidic Slime, and it's probably Ragavan. This deck is sweet. Like, we're playing against creature decks. This deck would have a much harder time against Storm. But, like, we have enough removal that we can just kill everything against the green deck, which is not usually possible. Like, they can't snowball, because they can't resolve Dorks. Opponent takes a ton of damage. We don't even have to show them Braids or Vraska or K-Command, and we beat them. That's awesome. Alright, I don't think we make any adjustments. I think we just run it back. Alright. Ophiomancer Jite, we've got Collective Brutality, so let's keep. Collective Brutality K-Command is generally very good against the green deck. Jite is also very good, because Jite just says no dorks forever. Opponent mulligans to 6, which is also good for us. Generally, the green deck has trouble mulliganing. Okay, they start Utopia Sprawl. We untap. Draw Braids. Sick. Pass the turn. Ophiomancer Braids. Yes. I will enjoy playing the game of Magic, while you don't. Opponent plays a Flooded Strand, alright. We untap. We draw Duretti. Duretti is also really insane here. I'm going to duress my opponent with Collective Brutality, because if they have Green Sun Zenith, or if they have Natural Order, I want to get rid of it. Elder Gargaroth Huntmaster. Okay. Opponent cracks Flooded Strand, getting a Ketria Triome. So they can play a Huntmaster this turn. Sure. So I think what we're going to do is... we can either play Duretti, we can play Ophiomancer, or we can play K-Command. I think we play K-Command and force them to discard. The likelihood of them having a tap land and then not being able to play Gargaroth is pretty high. So force them to discard, kill Huntmaster. I think opponent discards Arbor Elf. Nice. Okay, they do have a forest, so they can play the Gargaroth. So we're going to play Ophiomancer. We take 2. We draw a mountain. So play Ophiomancer, Chain Lightning the Wolf token. We know the last card in their hand is Razor Verge Thicket. Make a Death Touch Snake. Okay, opponent plays a Razor Verge Thicket, has 1 unknown card in hand. Opponent does not attack with Gargaroth. We draw Monastery Swift Spear. So play Swift Spear. Play Duretti, because Duretti now threatens the Gargaroth. Make a Construct. Pass the turn. So we probably are going to lose Duretti and the Snake token this turn, because I think they have to attack Duretti to kill him. So we just chump with a Snake token, play Braids, and then they're losing permanents every turn. And we play a Jite to try and close out the game really fast. Okay, Finale of Devastation, X4. Questing Beast might be a little bit of a problem here, if they have Questing Beast. Because that would kill Duretti and not be able to be blocked by a Snake token. Huntmaster, okay. Yep, they attack Duretti with Gargaroth, and they elect to draw a card. So we block with a Snake. Duretti dies. Okay. We get a Snake. We draw a Mountain. So play a Mountain. Play Braids. Pass the turn. Okay. Opponent has to sacrifice an artifact, creature, or land. They can flip Huntmaster if they cast no spells this turn to kill Braids. I didn't think about that. Okay. They flip Ravager of the Fells. They kill Braids, hit us for 2. We sacrifice a Construct. We draw a Lightning Bolt. So, play Jite, Prowess Trigger. And then equip Jite, go to combat, and attack and attack. We can actually use a Jite counter to kill our own Snake. If they block Monastery Swift Spear, we just use the counters to kill Ravager. I could use this Bolt to do it, but I think we just use the counters. Okay. Bolt is more likely to kill something, and I don't think it's super likely my opponent just plays a whole bunch of dorks, but I guess it's possible. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have played out Braids there. I should have waited until I could deal with the Huntmaster, because I totally didn't have to. Green Sun Zenith X5. So this is going to be Acidic Slime to deal with Jite. Okay. Jite down. We untap. Draw a Mountain. Yeah, I think I'm just going to bolt the Slime. They are playing white, so I really don't want to see if they have like a Restoration Angel for flickering purposes. Let's get in for 3. We do need to draw, like, Vraska would be really good. Skull Clamp would be insane. Opponent plays a land. They play Nissa. Nissa is somewhat of a problem here. They untap a forest and hit us for 3. They play an Elvish Mystic. It does make life a little more difficult. We kind of need to draw like a Bone Shards. There it is. Oops, we don't want to discard here. We want to sack a creature. Sack the snake, kill Nissa. Pass the turn, make a snake. Okay, opponent plays Garrick. Garrick's probably going to make a beast, I imagine. Okay, we untap. We draw a Verdant Catacombs. Play Verdant Catacombs, pass the turn. No sense in attacking here. I will be fetching up an Indatha Triome. Actually, maybe I shouldn't fetch up an Indatha Triome. Maybe I should just fetch a tapped Overgrown Tomb, because if I draw Indatha Triome, I can cycle it. That might make more of a difference. We don't have any board wipes in this deck, and that's kind of a problem. If this is Hoof, we're dead. Eugene. Okay. Eugene also poses a problem. They're going to kill Ophiomancer. Then they play a Wall of Roots. I don't know why they didn't just attack with a Forest and tap the Mystic. Okay. Attack us for 3, we go to 10. I'm not sacking the Snake token on the off chance I get a Skull Clamp, though at this point I don't know what I could get here that would actually matter. Yeah, my mistake was playing Braids at the wrong time. I was in a rush to play her and completely forgot that Huntmaster had even more text on the backside of him. Yeah, we'll just run it back. We should be set up very well to beat our opponent. We just not need to make silly mistakes. Excuse me, need to not make silly mistakes. Alright. We do want to play first. We do not have red mana, but we have some decent black cards in our hand. Any land gets us to some pretty good effects for dealing with our opponent's stuff. I don't know. I think I want some burn spells and such. This is better. This is way better. We'll keep. I'm going to put back a Swamp, and I'm going to lead on a Zagoth Triome. Pass the turn. This way, if they lead on a Dork, I can kill it in Duress, just to make sure I'm not going to be dealing with a fast natural order or something. I think I have to discard Bone Shards, which I don't want to do, but I will. Target creature gets -2/-2, Duress our opponent. Because I need the 3rd land for Ophiomancer, and I'm going to be drawing tons of cards, theoretically. They do have Green Sun Zenith. A lot of stuff. But they have no ramp in their hand. They currently have all 5 drops. Okay, opponent plays a Forest and passes. That's good news for us. Ooh, Duretti. Fetch with Verdant Catacombs. Shock a Blood Crypt. And let's play Duretti. Duretti much more easily threatens my opponent's big creatures while helping me set up and do a bunch of crazy stuff with Skull Clamp. So I'm going to go with that. Opponent plays a Windswept Heath. We draw K command. Make a token. Play Ophiomancer. Opponent cracks Windswept Heath. Gets a Ketria Triome. And they play an Augur of Autumn, and a Forest presumably off the top of their deck. We draw a Firebolt, so kill Augur of Autumn, go to combat, attack for 3, play Skull Clamp, clamp the Snake, clamp the Construct. I really want to land. Man, 2 mana to draw 4 cards. Doesn't get a lot better than that. Make a Snake. I'm going to draw Bone Shredder. Opponent plays Oblivion Ring. Hits Skull Clamp. Alright, well, if we draw a land, we can get Skull Clamp back. There it is. Play a Swamp. Make a token. Go to combat. Attack for 3. Play Vraska. Abrupt Decay, Oblivion Ring. I could have probably just started upticking Vraska, but I want my Skull Clamp. Okay, opponent plays a land. Play Acidic Slime. Slime gonna kill Skull Clamp. Alright, fine. We untap. We draw a Lightning Bolt. Well, we have a lot of burn. So I think what we do here is make a construct. Uptick Vraska, sack a construct. That does actually make life easier. Play Young Pyro. Firebolt the Slime. Make a token. Go to combat. This deck is so sweet. Attack for 3. Okay, opponent goes to 10. We have 6 points of burn. And we can Bone Splinters their Gargaroth when they play it. Yeah, Gargaroth's a really good card, but it dies to an onboard trick. Play a mountain. Bone Splinters. Go to combat. Swing out. Then Chain Lightning. And Bolt. We got there. We even had K command too. Nice. Alright, well, I will see you guys in round 3. Okay, we got a good hand. I think we're going to keep. Welcome to round 3, everybody. We are on the draw. Let's see what we're up against. Island Ancestral Visions. Okay. We draw Jite. Jite is pretty good. Landotha Triome. Pass the turn. Ancestral Visions ticking down. Want to plays an island into an Orzhov Signet. It's kind of looking like Storm to me. Play Jite. Pass the turn. Ancestral Visions ticking down to 2. They play a Thron Dynamo and a Coalition Relic. Okay. So I think what we want to do here is play Revoker, name Thron Dynamo. Oh, I tapped wrong. I needed to, needed to leave red mana up, but... Okay, we'll just limit the total amount of mana they can get. The idea here is we're going to destroy Coalition Relic with K-Command and force them to discard. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Okay. And Tezzeret the Seeker. Alright. This is unfortunate, but we can, see, destroy Thron Dynamo and kill Jace. Then we can Phyrexian Revoker Tezzeret. Okay, opponent casts an Ancestral Visions. So they get 4 new cards this turn. They play Tolarian Academy. I mean, I could Firebolt Chain Lightning Tezzeret. I don't know if that's good or not. That only kills him if he zeros or down ticks. If he ults right now, he kills himself, but we would take 10. If he ults later, we can Infernal Grasp whatever gets animated. Okay, opponent zeros Tezzeret for a Mox Pearl. If we draw a land, we can kill Tezzeret with our 2 burn spells and then Phyrexian Revoker Coalition Relic. Okay, opponent passes. Draw Bone Shredder. We're getting clicked. Alright, sure. Not a lot I can do about that, but this does stop me from just burning Tezzeret down. So likely what's going to happen here is I'm going to have to Revoker Tezzeret and then burn Vendilion Click this turn, unless they take Revoker, which I think is stronger if they do that. I do wish we had a little more artifact destruction in this deck. Okay, opponent takes Chain Lightning. So play Revoker. Name Tezzeret the Seeker. Firebolt Vendilion Click. Probably should have played around Daze, but I did not. Play Swamp. Pass the turn. Opponent charges up Coalition Relic. Taps for 6 mana on my end step. Brazen Borrower. Then they flash in Brazen Borrower. This puts me to 2 if they alt Tezzeret. which is not good for my health. I would not be able to Infernal Grasp at that point. They have a Mana Vault 2. So next turn, if they ult Tezzeret, we're dead to just the artifacts. Okay, they downtick X1 for Divining Top. Seems reasonable. They spin the top, they play a land, and then they attack us for 3. We go to 17, untap, we draw Skull Clamp. So, Revoker spins the top again. I could name Divining Top, but Tezzeret is like the clear and present threat here. And then I'm going to Infernal Grasp Brazen Borrower. Okay, pass the turn. And I'm doing that now because my opponent, I guess, could technically draw a counterspell. They untap, they draw a card. They spin top after drawing a card. They draw a card with top. They play Batterskull. Okay. And they pass. We draw a swamp. So play a swamp. Play Chupacabra. Kill the token. Opponent can just pick up and replay Batterskull, and that will be fine. Because we can flashback Firebolt to kill Tezzeret. And next turn we can play... Oh, we can also play Ophiomancer as well. Play Skull Clamp. Pass the turn. 5 mana. 3 mana. They pick up Batterskull. Charge up Coalition Relic. So they draw top. They replay top. They spin top. And replay Batterskull. Okay. We draw an Overgrown Tomb. So we can flashback Firebolt. You know what? I am going to play around days. Flashback Firebolt. Kill Tezzeret. And then I'm going to Clamp Revoker. Okay, we draw Young Pyro. No attacks, pass the turn. So Batterskull is a problem, but I think we can actually overcome it. Okay, opponent untaps. If they attack with Batterskull this turn, we do not block. Okay, opponent goes to combat, attacks us for 4, we do not block, we go to 9. Opponent goes up to 24. They tap for 6, and then tap top to draw. Go up to 8. We play Trinket Mage. Is this a Walking Ballista? Because that would be very bad for my health. Oh, they just get top off the top of their deck. Okay. This lets them get a new set of cards to spin top because they technically searched their library and shuffled. So even though top was on top of their deck, the other cards that were underneath it no longer are. They immediately redraw and Time Warp. Okay. Time Warp's a good card. Basically lets them repeat their turn, and I will trade for Trinket Mage if they swing with it. Opponent untaps, they draw top. They spin top. Actually, maybe this time I do block the Batterskull, because I can Bone Shredder to kill the Trinket Mage. Yeah, I'm actually going to block the Batterskull here to preserve a little bit of life. We don't really need any particular creature on board until we get to like Young Pyro or Ophiomancer. So we untap, we draw Collective Brutality, play a Swamp, play Ophiomancer. Okay, opponent draws a card with top, counterspell. That is unfortunate. Okay. Play Bone Shredder. Take out Trinket Mage. Pass the turn. Yeah, our opponent having 0 cards in hand means this Collective Brutality is not that great. They charge up Coalition Relic and untap. We will be chumping Batterskull here. Okay, they replay top. They spin top. I could have clamped Bone Shredder, but I don't think it's worth it. They attack us for 4. So we just jump. They draw a card. They play Karn. Karn is a little bit of a problem, mainly because the tokens he makes is really big. So we draw Goblin Guide. Play Young Pyro. Collective Brutality. Drain our opponent. Make a token. Play Goblin Guide. And we are going to clamp Goblin Guide. Because we want to use Goblin Guide as a blocker, along with the Elemental token. Okay, opponent charges up Coalition Relic. They untap. They draw top. So basically, for the price of just like 2 mana, they are picking the best card out of the top 3 cards of their deck and drawing that every turn. So they are effectively just casting Anticipate every turn instead of drawing for turn. Because they're using 2 mana and getting the best card of the top 3. I don't think I can mill them out. Okay. They draw a card with top. They play Relic. They can crack Relic to draw top. Then replay top. So they're probably thinking that I use my graveyard in some way, and I really don't. I think what we're going to have to do is get on board a lot faster. Opponent had a very strong hand with Mana Rocks into Planeswalkers, which, you know, it's just how it is. Opponent is using their clock quite aggressively to win what is game 1 here. Unholy Heat's probably going to be important to bring in, because that's another burn spell that can hit Planeswalkers. And theoretically, it can kill most Planeswalkers for 1 mana, so I think we're going to need it. I don't think we have any other artifact destruction in the sideboard that we're not already playing. Yeah, not really. I could bring in blue and play Thieving Skydiver. That would be really good against this deck. But I don't really want to play 4-color. I could play Tamiyo for the same reason. But our mana is a little bit sketchy. Opponent is thinking, I guess. Opponent is making 1,000,000 mana, drawing a card. If it's Walking Ballista, it is just game over. Because unfortunately, I think... Yeah, because if it was Walking Ballista, they can just ping down our whole team and then swing. Upheaval. I would describe this as a less than ideal situation. But it is good to know that my opponent does have Upheaval. And they're replaying all their Mana Rocks. And a Batterskull. And a Karn. Making another Karnstruct. Charging up Coalition Relic. Okay. Well, our turn is a very sad Mountain Goblin Guide pass. Discarding Swamp, Mountain. Opponent plays top, spins top. Makes another Karnstruct. They attack us for a bunch. Chump here. I don't think we have anything that can really get us out of this situation, but I am checking. Sometimes I get accused of conceding too early, but... Okay, Wrenn and 6 definitely does not do it. Okay. Opponent used, like, 11 more minutes of their clock than I did that game. We have Fiery Islet, we have Zagoth Triome in the main deck that can go get blue. I can play Spire Bluff Canal instead of a Mountain, and maybe splash Thieving Skydiver. Is it worth it? I definitely think we want Unholy Heat, and it's probably better than Light Up the Stage. I think Light Up the Stage is not that great for us. Thieving Skydiver is very good. They have Moxen, they have Mana Vault, they have a bunch of stuff. If I were to do this, I'd have 3 blue sources, one of which is fetchable but tapped. I also have Ragavan, which can potentially fix my mana. What is Thieving Skydiver better than? Mesmeric Fiend, maybe? I think it's Mesmeric Fiend. Let's try it like this. We're splashing our single Thieving Skydiver. Hopefully it's good. I would like to play first. We have Bone Shards. We do have red mana, and we have Skull Clamp. So, you know, I'm going to keep it. There is a lot of stuff we can top deck that would be really good. So, play Goblin Guide. Attack for 2. Opponent does draw an island. Opponent starts with an island and starts with top. We draw Thieving Skydiver. Which, Thieving Skydiver top is not that great. We suit Goblin Guide up with a Skull Clamp. We'd really rather steal a Mana Rock, I think. Because opponent can just tap top to put it on top of their deck. Okay, opponent plays the Reality Chip. We draw Collective Brutality. I think I am going to discard a Swamp to kill the Reality Chip here. Because I really need to be getting in for damage. Okay, they're drawing a Mox Pearl. I would happily steal a Mox Pearl next turn. And I think I'm going to go ahead and Duress. Counterspell. Definitely taking the Counterspell. So Mox Pearl does let them play a Karn, which is kind of annoying. The Karnstruck's not going to be very big, but... Okay, we draw a Mountain. So... Go to combat. Oh, we could steal Batterskull. We would just need a lot of mana. That would be really sick. And it's unlikely to work. Okay, opponent trades, so we draw some cards. Ophiomancer and Braids. I think we have to steal this, otherwise our opponent plays a Batterskull next turn. So, X is 1. Steal the Mox. Pass the turn. I'm not going to clamp my Skydiver yet. I would like a flyer to be able to hit Karn, especially if they make a Karnstruct, I can kill it then. So if they want to keep Karn alive, they have to uptick him. Opponent plays an island. Plays a Coalition Relic. We can probably just play a Relic of Progenitus here. They make a Karnstruct. Okay, that's fine. Then they play Relic of Progenitus. Make us exile a card out of our grave. We'll exile a sorcery. Make it seem like we're going for Delirium here. We untap, we draw a forest. So go to combat. Kill Karn. Okay, play a forest. Play an Ophiomancer. And clamp Thieving Skydiver? Ravenous Chupacabra. Chupacabra is going to be good. Okay, put it charges up the Relic. Oh, they only have Batterskull. They don't have any more islands. I must have missed them playing that. We get a Death Touch Snake. Opponent has a Tolarian Academy and all the mana in the universe. And they then spin top. Every turn I'm delaying playing this Braids is a little bit of a problem. Probably should have played it a couple of turns ago. Because now they can sack the Germ token, pick Batterskull up, and just do that, I guess. Okay, they sack Relic to draw a card. They play Mana Vault. They do not attack. We untap. We draw Indatha Triome. So play the Zagoth Triome. Clamp the Snake. We get a Bone Shredder. Bone Shredder can't kill anything at the moment. Play Braids. Then pass the turn. Okay, opponent charges Coalition Relic. Untaps. Braids trigger. And Ophiomancer trigger. We get a Death Touch blocker. Opponent spins the top. Opponent sacrifices a land. Okay. They spin the top again after drawing. They draw with top, play a land, and then play Jace, Vryn's Prodigy. Well, there's something we can Bone Shredder. They attack with Batterskull. I mean, we're just going to block with the Snake. I'm going to sack Mox Pearl to Braids trigger rather than sack the Snake to Braids trigger because I don't want this to be on the field in case they upheaval. And I can remove a lot of permanents by shreddering the Jace and Chupacabra hitting the token. Oh, opponent is going to equip the Construct token. That's interesting. So, make a Snake. They charge Relic. Sack Pearl. We draw Chain Lightning. So, play a Swamp. Chupacabra. kill the Construct. Bone Shredder. Kill Jace. Go to combat, hit them for 4. Opponent untaps. They have to sack a permanent. They sack an island. They draw top. Play top. Spin top. And concede. Opponent has 3 minutes left on the clock. So Thieving Skydiver was very good there, but that was because we had the mana to play it. Whether that remains to be a thing, I don't know. I feel like Mesmeric Fiend is good, though. I just don't know what it's better than. Alright, we're going to run it back. Pray for good luck. Skull Clamp is just a busted magic card when you have 1/1s to sack to it, though. So good. Okay, Duretti is huge. Skydiver's huge. We've got removal. This hand is great. Okay, opponent leads on an island and does nothing. We draw a mountain. Play Spire Bluff Canal. Pass the turn. Opponent plays another island. We draw Zagoth Triome. Well, play the tap land. Pass the turn. Okay. Opponent plays an island. Passes. We draw Vraska. Alright, well. Red, black, red. Play Duretti. This is probably going to get a counterspell. Hopefully it's not... Okay. I was going to say, hopefully it's not Mana Drain. But we get Miscelt. Pass to our opponent. They suspend Ancestral Visions. We draw K Command. Play a Swamp. Play Vraska. Okay, counterspell. Pass the turn. So that's 2 huge value engines that are gone, unfortunately. Okay, opponent plays a Mana Vault, which I kind of want to steal. They play Thrawn Dynamo. And they play Trinket Mage, probably getting top. So I think what we do here is we K-Command killing Trinket Mage and Thrawn Dynamo. Because without a land, they can't untap Mana Vault. Okay, we draw Chupacabra, play Fiery Islet. So destroy Thrawn Dynamo, kill Trinket Mage. Maybe making them discard was better because we have so much creature removal, but... Okay, they take a damage from Mana Vault. They play a land. They spin top. I don't think opponent can win in 2 minutes. Not without like a crazy upheaval play or something. Okay. We draw Bone Shredder. So let's steal Mana Vault. Okay. And we can pass the turn and leave up Infernal Grasp. Opponent Brazen Borrowers it back to their hand. Okay. Ancestral Visions, ticking down to 1. Opponent replays Mana Vault. And they play a Batterskull. Okay. Well, I think we Chupacabra the token. We draw Firebolt. And attack for 2. They spin top again. Yeah, I really hope they don't draw Upheaval. As long as they don't, we should be okay. But we do have Bone Shards for like turn 1 removal on something after an Upheaval. Or Firebolt to kill maybe a Brazen Borrower after the fact. Opponent's drawing a bunch of cards. They have a tapped Mana Vault, so they take damage. 5 mana. Opponent has Tezzeret the Seeker. They untap Mana Vault. We untap. We draw an Overgrown Tomb. Opponent sends me a message. Opponent says time wins, unreal. I mean, you're the one that was spinning top like every 3 seconds, so, you know. I'm going to ditch Bone Shredder to kill Tezzeret. And attack my opponent for 4. Then play an Overgrown Tomb tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent is not taking damage from Mana Vault. They can pick up Batterskull and replay it. Okay, they go for the Upheaval. Sure. They play Mana Vault. They play top. I don't know why they didn't just play Batterskull. And And then they play Karn. Karn down ticks, makes a 3/3. Okay. Play Zagoth Triome. Pass the turn. Ditch a forest. And let's see. Forest, mountain, fiery islet. Okay. Opponent's going to take some damage off Mana Vault. They make a Construct. They hit us for 4. So we untap. We draw a Swamp, Spire Bluff Canal. So we can Infernal Grasp. Pass the turn. Yeah, so we actually were not out of this game yet. Because we were going to be able to Firebolt to kill Karn. I guess Karn was more damage over time, but we were saving cheap removal for that reason. Like, we knew Upheaval was coming. So we weren't out of that game yet. And we were going to have a Skydiver for... Okay. So, like, opponent this turn probably can play some pretty nasty stuff. On our next turn, we can Firebolt to kill Karn. We're at, like, 11 or 10. Then we have Skydiver, and we can steal Mana Vault. Then we have Chupacabra to kill something. Flashback Firebolt for, like, if this Construct token is still alive. Like, we had plenty of stuff. It's not going to let me see what my next cards were, but... Alright, let's open a treasure chest and see how we did. Okay. Treasure chest. 5 play points. Tivadar of Thorn, and a Twin Cast. Alright, so... Hope you guys enjoyed this content. If you did, please leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel if you're so inclined, and remember you can follow me on Twitch. Same username over there as you find me on here. I stream on Sundays generally. We had a nice long stream this last week. It was about 6 or 7 hours. It was one of my longer ones, but hope you guys enjoyed. You're all wonderful human beings. Thanks for watching. Bye!